Okie dokie, we're finally doing this right now. Hey everybody, it's the Gaming Cyborg, and I'm finally doing my guide for the high school management out here on Pro Spirit Awards 2026. I'm really excited to do this. I should have said something during my haphazard review last video that I was going to do this, especially for people who just got this game. That's if you got this game. If you're not doing that whole strike thing over physical media, which I totally understand. But if you're doing this, but if you ever turn on your issues again after you're done with that, please at least watch this video on your phone. My channel's still small, and and I did a lot of research for this video, so it would really help if you did all the YouTube things that they asked you to do, and so so I could really grow this channel. Okay, this is gonna be I'm gonna try to do a comprehensive guide for this mode. On my main file, I'm halfway through year two after much trial and error. But I'm going to start a new game here just to explain some stuff. Okay, what you just saw there is, of course, the entrance to the mode. I'm just going to set the default here. That lady is one of the five club managers that you can have. I'll explain. I will explain them as we move along here. Okay, this right here for your team is so important. It hurts. Your your preferred prefecture. There's Don't go into this thinking, oh, I'll choose any day and on place to start in. No, 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 no. Depending on what area you start in determines the preferred play style that you should employ, the density of schools, and how hard it would be to get to coaching. That's the big old, that's basically the series as far as Japanese high school is concerned. Where the where the cursor's at the Hokkaido region, yeah, that's going to be basically Dark Souls mode if you start there. Two reasons: lots of schools, lots of powerhouses, and training your players during the winter. That's brutal. Well, and your players during the winter is normally brutal, but it's extra brutal since winters are longer here. Now, I would recommend a new player to play here. Okay, I usually play here. That's where my team plays. But any one of these in this particular prefecture would work. So, but over there they play small ball. You build your build your team for fielding and speed, also contact. Don't try don't try to develop power. It's going to take too long. Plus, us your initial squad is always going to be shit. No, yeah, your initial squad's going to be poopy diapers, no matter what agent you choose. You might get like maybe two or three players that are halfway decent. Hell, you might even uh, uh, get a regen. I'll talk about that later. I'm just gonna put the school where I normally put the school. Because this is just a test run. Normally, you would be customizing everything about your school's look. I'll probably show you my actual team later, or probably not. But the uniforms actually look better on my team than this fucking generic shit. Mm. Okay, now I can talk more about out the managers. The first one you get is always a sorry, sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. There's some, there's five ladies you're gonna get in rotation through the course of your playthrough, but you will always get one of them as a sophomore. Apparently, this one has none of the names that are on the thread that I've been working on for 4 days, but after I record this, I'll figure out which specialty this lady particularly has. But there's there's for there's for others, three of which I have already had in previous runs, and two of them I've had in my own personal run that I'm not showing here. You have a 20% chance to roll one of these ladies. They're your they're the club manager. But you are the team manager. She works as an assistant and kind of a mother hen to the players. Let's just say good cop to your bad cop. Okay, he rolled a pretty average squad, but you have a chance of getting an absolute gem. This kind of takes me off considering how random this is, and the fact that I only started this particular file for this video, so I didn't even suspect that I was going to roll an absolute beefcake of a player. Yeah, your initial 7 players are all random. Of course, they'll all be from the area your school is in and going to your school. But the biggest issue is you you don't have them for long because high school in Japan it is 3 years, not 4 years like it is here in the States. So no matter what kind of players you get, if if your best players are in their second or third year, yeah, you, you're losing them, and you got to wait till the next entrance, or need to get a decent replacement. And we're finished with the introduction here. Of course, there's new members to the team. No, I am not doing a series. If I was going to do that, I would have done that with, with my initial profile. Oh, this burns my biscuits that this team is starting relatively close to D level strength. Your initial club manager will always tell you to bring up the screen as soon as you got your full team. Normally, the teams I'll be getting are are weaker than this, so I'm kind of mad that this test run has a better team than the ones that I've had in previous drive runs, and the one that I would be playing off camera. My off camera team is at mid level, is at mid tier level after literally grinding it for 2 years in game time. Well, almost 3 years, really. We don't have any year three players, which is good, but we have no. Actually, we do have some year three players. Actually, leave a balance of students and straight up sevens. Jackpot. Well, I'm getting all. Yeah, this is the part where where she explains how season schedules work, so I'm going to let her explain it. You could you could read along, so I'm not going to click off too fast. Of course, she's going to explain to you that normally we would you would be preparing for a spring tournament, but yeah, it's went in the professional tournaments and the national tournaments, and of course the big one, coaching. That's what you always got to shoot for. Even though, yeah, in my personal one, I do want to go coaching, but it's just I'm just trying to you know the pro aspiring players. I'll get to that later. The fall tournaments are the ones I always shoot for because I already know the initial one that we miss is like for storyline reasons. I think they heavily imply that that the baseball program for the school that you control went bye bye for quite some time, and that's why the field is in disrepair. The only players you can get are absolutely dog water with maybe a few bright spots. I hope you're reading this as I'm talking. Yeah, there are no practice games, and for practice games happen randomly, but there it is a card you get from time to time where you can actually request the practice game. but it's very rare that you get them, and you can choose one of the one, one of the game generated teams, but you only find out what teams you fit ace in official games or when they request you for a practice game, which is very annoying. Yeah, like I said, normally you would you would have to do the spring prefectural tournament, but not the first year because for a hidden reason. But it is implied that the team did not the the school did not have a baseball program in time to prepare for the 2026 prefectural tournament for spring. So you have to get ready for the summer one instead. That that is an initial debut. Well, your debut for the team, and yeah, uh, you're definitely not ready for it. You're not going to get ready for it, but if you actually drew some, I mean, at least one decent player like like the team that we drew up, you'll be okay. But normally you're dealing with poopy diapers. Now the practices and the cards that they call for more detailed information, please read the bottom. I'm not gonna click too fast. Some of these will change if you get some equipment. That equipment can be bought with performance points that you get at for winning games. Yeah, and you're not gonna early on. You're not going to begin to make performance points. You'll still get performance points for losing games, but not as much performance points for losing games as you would get at, for winning them. right now, right now you're locked into a. Right now we're locked into balanced, oriented development strategy. You won't be able to change your development strategy until the end of each year, going into the next actual baseball season. Now, if I was any of y'all, I would just go through the motions with the initial tournament, knowing that you're gonna get spent and in the summer prefectural tournament. There is chances that you are going to get lucky, but that's only going to happen if you're either dictating the strategy with strategy game, or if you're good with the controls and you play as one of your players yourself. Again, remember your roster is poopy diapers. So even if you do both, I mean, do either place out early on until you get into the second year, or already know what you're doing development wise. You can't you can't really change that. Let me explain the phone. Of course, this is the team screen. This is the player screen. This where you set the types of training that each player does by themselves, or you could do training instructions for everyone. As far as development, mainly focus on your year one students. And a little bit on your year two. So year three, uh, they're already set for the most part, and if they're and if those year threes are your initial squad, if they're poopy diapers, they're poopy freaking diapers. But if you want more, or of a detailed sort of thing, I will copy the thread I was supposed to use as a script, but I decided to like go off the cuff. And of course, or the manager we got doesn't have one of the names I recognize. So let me get off of this profile and go and show you the the profile that I'm actually playing on. Yeah, I'm pretty much in year three, and that's one of the managers I do recognize. That's Minami. She is the equipment specialist out of all of the managers. She's actually in year two at the school, so that means next year she's going to she's going to get re- to graduate. I don't know what I don't know what career she's going to take. Yeah, right now I'm mid tier defense and pitching oriented, even though my pitching is still kind of poopy diapers, but the fielding is awesome. Total wins 13 because I haven't been playing this particular profile long. 10 losses. League games are actually the pre actual national tournaments. Got 8 wins in those tournaments, but no actual tournament wins. lots of wins, lots. Sometimes I did this profile for 2 reasons, so I can prepare for this video, and I've had two drafted pros when when a when a pro aspiring enters your team. That means you have a chance to be able to use that player as a created player. This is one of the many modes where you can actually use you can actually have your make new players. I cannot believe I'm still nervous doing this. I'm sorry. The other the other modes where you can create new players for almost every mode in the game is spirits. That that mode's a whole can of worms, but I did in that mode just to figure out how many points you need to actually make a player decent. You need way too many points to make a player decent in this on game. Star player, but the weirdest is to import or into your created players. You would have to be done with the mode. That player will have to retire, only for them to return earn, earn some other mode. But this mode is the main mode where you get created players. But of course, they have to be pro aspiring players, and there is a possibility for you to find regens. Yeah, if you're a FIFA EAFC player, you know exactly what I'm talking about. A reincarnated version of a pro player. The AI thread that I used to prepare for this video says that you can get Shohei, you, Darvish, and Ichiro, but you have to know the two places where the region would possibly be most likely, of course, the areas that either the real players played their high school ball and their pro ball. The reasons why you can get those three players is because, as thankfully, Ami got the rights to their likenesses, and of course, but these regions won't be those exact players. All regions for the pro players in this game, both the MLB pros and the and PB pros, are displayed as fans of those particular players that just happen to have their last name. I will copy the thread with that part and link it to this video if I can. It also has all the do's and don'ts as far as training, how to leverage each of the managers' abilities. Even though I was supposed to explain all that, I didn't do too well. Even though I did all this preparation and I totally, I know I totally screwed up. I told you I was going to uh, owe you the team uniform. Here it is. Is it is it drippy or not? Could I have done better? Please drop that in the comments. If you watch this video, um, that's it. That's it for now. Please like, comment, subscribe, and if y'all want that thread, I will try to link it. Goodbye for now.